David Mack from Washington, D.C. He's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Near East Affairs. Welcome to the News Hour. I'd like to put to you what was said earlier in the Iranian new president-elect's first news conference. When he was asked if he would meet President Biden, he said no. So where does that leave relations and talks going forward with the U.S. right now?
Who cares about relations going forward if, in fact, it will be possible for both Tehran and Washington to agree to an international consensus for returning to a strict implementation of the 2015 agreement. Don't forget, this is not just an agreement between Washington and Tehran. Washington has on its side the other Security Council members, the United Nations establishment, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the government of Germany, and it is beginning to get more understanding from the Arab states of the Middle East, and even the Israelis are beginning to back off their hard opposition to this. So a return to the 2015 agreement, even though that would not meet all the expectations and desires of the United States for agreements on missiles and a reduction of Iranian support for proxy militias in the region. If they can at least get a return to 2015, then we can see how matters develop after that.
And how do you see that return to the JCPOA agreement proceeding?
Well, I think it's becoming increasingly clear that the Iranian supreme leader, and therefore both the current government and the incoming government, want to see it happen because they're suffering severe economic problems. They don't want to miss out on the rising oil prices with the post-pandemic economic changes that are coming. They have failed basically to break off significant parts of the world against the United States on this issue, and they want to get back into some kind of better position with the international community. They stand to do so. I think there's a good prospect that we will see more international firms taking an interest in investing in the Iranian market, particularly for developments involving better access to Iranian oil and gas. But it does require an understanding that at least on this one big issue of Iranian nuclear weapons development, there's an agreement to go back to where we were. And there's every indication that the Iranians have other objectives. They're going to continue to make problems regionally through their militia groups. The United States, the Washington intelligence and military establishment is going to be watching this very, very carefully, just as the Iranians will watch to see whether Washington removes these sanctions. There's something like 1,600 different sanctions, and most of them are not related directly to the nuclear agreement. So there's going to be lots of fits and starts. It'll be two steps forward, one step back.
All right. Thank you so much for that perspective there, David Mack from Washington, D.C. We appreciate your time.